Innovation never sleeps. From Ghana to the world, the workday ends, but the momentum begins.
This is the forge for the next generation of global leaders.
Science, tech, engineering, arts, math, bridging the gap.
Welcome to STEAM After Hours. Today's engine is starting now. Invest in the future today and help us make a difference. Learn more at gyisf.org.
Okay, so thank you guys for this afternoon, this evening. What is it? How do I even say this? We are building something for our youth, our community. And so if you are here, thank you. So this is Letitia Note, and today we are with Mr. Joshua, which I will be introducing very soon. And so we are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Okay. So this is the Global STEAM plug, and we are plugging ourselves in to innovation. We are plugging ourselves into all the amazing things that is happening in our community, in our world, and allowing our youth and also working professionals to stay abreast with new tech, new way of business, new way of doing stuff. And so this is the Global STEAM plug. And so our platform is every Friday, 7 p.m. Ghana time and 3 p.m. US time. And between the lessons that we will be learning, there will also be discussions on college preparation, high school preparation, life after high school, scholarship application reviews, all the things that our youth might have questions, but they don't know who to reach out to and where to go. And so we want to be the means or the guide in helping them to navigate our world as the world is moving faster and faster and faster. And so we want to give them that platform to be able to navigate and be able to have mentorship and ask questions. And so this is also in preparation for our upcoming event that is happening in July 11th at the in Eastern region in Kibi, Eastern region. So I'm going to be sharing my screen to give a little bit about our upcoming events and what we have lined up for our communities who are going to be present. And so it's called the Global Young Innovators Team Fest. And this is a day where we are bringing in over 20 hands-on STEAM stations, live hackathon. There'll be health screening and many exciting prizes to win. And so it takes a village, it takes a community to bring something like this to fruition. And so before we start our presentation for today, we are going to thank our partners and sponsors who are really been helping us to bring these things to our youth. And so for starters, we want to thank Adam Eye Technology. We want to thank Glow Luxury Travel. We want to thank Omega Doors and Locks, Abernaut Business Solutions, Glow Kids Events, and Mama Carol Foundation. We want to thank the STEAM Startup Labs and Abna Nyama Real Estate Realtor. We want to thank Sankofa Children Museum of African Culture. We want to thank Step of Faith LLC. We want to thank Afro Males Foundation. We want to thank the DAF, the Diaspora African Forum, and also Glow Fam Association. We want to thank STEM Embassy STEM Embassy is playing a major role in our Kibi hub. And as you guys know, all this is brought to you by Expanding Boundaries International. And this are 12 years. The other one is 10 years ago. We did that. I'm saying 2 years ago we did that flyer. But it's our 10-year anniversary, 12 years in operation. And so today we have Mr. Joshua joining us. And Joshua is no stranger to EBI. He's been with us for years, and he's been some of our house training them, training teachers. And so today is like a full circle where he's coming here to also pour into our youth and also our global audience. So Joshua is a technical cloud consultant at Reflow Company Limited. So I will stop sharing my screen and to yield to Joshua, who will be going over building digital confidence through email and safe online communication. So Joshua, over to you. Thank you. And I want to say that this is open to anyone, whatever skills that you have that you want to share. You never know, even to show students how to even use keyboard. It goes a long way. Many of our youth are finishing high schools without knowing how to use keyboard and stuff like that. And so anything that you don't mind sharing, we will be very grateful if you can give us 1 hour and 15 minutes of your time in exposing our youth to all the workforce skills that are out there to help them to really thrive in our ever changing global economy. So, Joshua, if you can hear us, we are ready for you.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you are muted.
We are waiting for you to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you, Josh.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, thank you, Letitia, for this awesome introduction. Uh, Let me share my screen so we can quick start. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Joshua, and I happen to be a technical cloud consultant. So in this session, we'll be talking about building digital confidence through emails and safe online communications. and we are going to have some interactions and engagement. So in between times, if you have questions, kindly let me know. Right. So with today's agenda, this is what we are going to cover. So we will do introduction to digital confidence, what it means to thrive and stay safe online. We will talk about email essentials, that is professional emails, the structures, and then best practices. Then we will look into safe online communications. Then we'll talk about spotting threats and then red flags in terms of phishing, scams, and how you can recognize them. Then we will look into practical tools and then some few takeaways. All right, so let's kickstart. So in this modern world, if we say, what is digital confidence, right? How can you build that kind of confidence online? We are in a modern world that we take into consideration of digital transformation, right? So in regards to digital confidence, is the ability to communicate, you'll be able to collaborate and protect yourself effectively in an online environment. In this case, what kind of online environment are we actually talking about? We all go online and then browse the internet, right? We Google stuff, we open emails, we open Outlook, that is for our professional emails, right? We open social media pages, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, right? So these are the kind of environment that we find ourselves in, and it has happened to be part of us. Now, how can we be confident in this modern infrastructure? Right. So you have to be competent. That is knowing how to use these tools effectively. Right. So you have to be competent in using these tools. You have to take into consideration of security. That is whereby you are able to protect your personal and then professional information. Right. In our daily lives, we have to look at how we'll be able to protect our information. So let's consider our personal life. What kind of information are we protecting? One, your data, the kind of data that you store on your phone, right? How do we protect them? How are we not going to be exposed? How will we be able to safeguard our personal data? In this regard, you can look at your gallery, you can look at your pictures, you can look at your documents. So where do you save this kind of documents? Mostly we save our documents in a cloud. We are in a cloud environment. So we can talk about Google Cloud, we can talk about iCloud, we can talk about Microsoft Cloud, which is Azure, we can talk about AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. That is where mostly we save our sensitive information. But what about the data that lies on our phone? Right? How are we going to be able to protect them in a professional way? So these are the kind of questions that we are supposed to ask ourselves. Now, let me move on to the next one. So let's talk about etiquette. So communicating professionally and then respectfully online, right? So in this case, let's look at how we communicate online, how we are able to send emails, right? We are supposed to have that at the back of our head, how we can communicate with our peers. Let's calm down and let's talk about WhatsApp. So WhatsApp has been a global app that everyone uses for communication, which is very easy to use, right? How do you communicate with your peers? How do you communicate with your managers? How do you communicate with your parents? Are you being professional about that? Are you being polite? Are you being respectful? So we should be able to ask ourselves all these questions. In regarding our professional life, how we send emails, there are a lot of platforms that we use. We use Gmail, you can use Outlook, and the rest. Let's move on to resilience. So resilience in this case is how about you recover confidently from digital mistakes or threats. How are you being resilient? We mostly do a lot of mistakes in regards to information sharing. There has been an instance that let's just use WhatsApp. There has been an instance that you forward particular attachment to a different group, right? And we have to also put into consideration safe attachments. And WhatsApp doesn't have that feature. So in this case, if you forward an attachment, a document which is happen to be a private document to a different group, how are you able to go about it? I know very well that WhatsApp has a feature that you'll be able to delete the attachments as quick as possible. There has been instances that you will not be able to delete them quickly because by the time you realize the time that they give for you to be able to delete that particular attachment has elapsed. So how are you going to recover from it? This is all about how we are able to build that kind of digital confidence. All right. Let's move to the next slide. So in this slide, I would like us to we have to look into email essentials, right? Professional email best practices. So we can see that we have subject line. Can I even draw? Okay, let me see that feature. Okay, let me use the pointer. Okay, let me see. Okay, I can use a pointer. So let's look at subject line when we are sending emails. Let's look into, let's just use Outlook in this case, right? So whenever we are sending emails, we look at the subject line. So in regards to subject lines, you have to be clear, you have to be concise, and then specific. This is very key when you are sending a professional email. So example, meeting request came to budget review May 2020, May 25. So this subject line is very clear and concise. So the recipient know that there's a meeting request. So we are going to talk about the second quarter of our budget, and then we would review it. Now let's move into salutation. So you have to use formal greetings, right? In this case, dear Mr. Mensah, or hello team, or hi sir. Anyhow the salutation is formal, we can go about it. But ideally, if you're communicating with your superiors, you have to be very careful of the kind of salutation that you actually use. And if you're communicating with your team, you have to also be careful of the kind of salutation that you use. And it goes to team members, your co-workers, your superiors, your managers, and stuff like that. Now let's look at the body of the email. So you have to state your purpose immediately, right? And keep paragraphs short. Let's say about just 3 to 4 sentences. And in the case that you have to use bullet points for list, you have to also use it. So state your purpose immediately, and then keep paragraphs short. Don't go and then write long sentences. It makes the body of your email boring, and then it makes it so talky. Like it's going to be so noisy. So you keep your message very clear, right? Now let's look at closing. If you're done with the body, you have to close it. So you have to use professional sign-offs. In this case, you can use best regards, yours sincerely, thank you. There are other ones, but these are the ones that you can also use that have this kind of sign-offs, right? And signature, which is very, very key, right? So signature here can be in different cases. So if you're in an organization, or every organization has their own signature, right? So the IT teams configure that kind of signature for them, you see. So it should contain your full name, your job title, your organization, and then the contact info, right? The full name, title, organization, and then contact info. So let's look at, let's try and then draft a sample, right? So this, I will engage with some of the attendees. Let me go here. This, give me a minute or two. Yeah, so since we are using Google, I would not like to use Outlook. I'll use Google. I'll use Gmail. I'm more of Microsoft, anyways. Okay, please give me a minute. Duplicate and Google Workspace. Okay, let me just share my entire screen so we can. Something else. So this. Okay, let me share this. Okay. So inbox. And please kindly confirm if you can see my second screen. You have to see my Gmail platform. Anyone here to confirm for me? Say please. Okay, thank you, Gloria. So I would need one person, someone who would volunteer to. Yeah, right. I saw the thumbs up. Yeah, I saw the thumbs up. Let me have a volunteer here. I want us to have an interactive session now. Who is here? Gloria. Right. Gloria, you can unmute, right? Oh, okay. Gloria doesn't want to unmute anyway. At work, please. Gloria is at work. Sedu Haruna.
Yeah, please, I'm here.
You are here. All right. Thank you. So let's do this together. I have taken us through the process, right? So in this case, you are sending an email to your superior, right? Okay. So the two, what do you suggest we go with? The email. Hi, Sedu. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so we are sending to. Can you see the screen? I've opened the screen for a new message.
Uh,
So we are, yeah. So we are sending an email to our superior. Okay. So let's say we are sending an email to Letitia. Okay, we are sending an email to Letitia. Okay. So what subject line can we use?
yeah, that we will be attending.
Okay, so we are sending an email to Letitia to inform her that the team is ready to receive the upcoming, the upcoming team in Ghana.
Okay.
So in this case, what subject line are we going to use? So because we mentioned that we have to use a subject line, we have to be clear, concise, and then specific. Right? So and then we are in for a meeting request. So we are requesting from a meeting from Letitia. So this is a meeting request, right?
Yes.
That is an email we are about to send. Now we mentioned that we have to be clear, concise, and then specific. So which subject line can we go with? Hi Harina, are you with me?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So I want to hear from you. So which subject line can we use?
Mm. About the salutation or the subject line.
Yeah. So if we go about currently we are subjects. Okay, that is a subject line. So initially we spoke about subject line, right?
Yes, please.
But the subject line is supposed to be clear, concise, and then specific. So in this case, we are sending an email to Letitia for a meeting request. Okay.
Well,
Subject
yeah,
line, meeting request. Or you can go about meeting request. Today is 22nd. We can do 24th, maybe 24th May 2026. Right? Ariana, did you understand
yes, please.
the meeting request? Then we come to salutation, right? So salutation is where we would use formal greetings, right? So we can do dear, dear, or we can do hi, or right. So hi, we can do hi, Letitia. So you realize that Google has an automation that they are using. So once I click on it, it will give me Letitia. I don't know, you can please unmute there so that we will not get feedback. Okay, all right, thank you. So we can do a hi, Letitia, right? Then we can look into the body. Okay, the body of the mail. Hi, Letitia. We can do okay. So we are no okay. Coming. Hi, Letitia. Okay, hi, Letitia. we are happy to host an event on 24th May 2026, right? And we
Hello.
hi.
Yeah, please. What you are typing, is it displaying on your screen?
Yes, it's displaying on my screen.
Then I think it's from my side. I'm not seeing that screen.
And can anyone also confirm, because I'm typing, I want to confirm if you can see the screen.
Yeah, it's not showing on my screen here too.
It's not showing on screen. Oh,
Yeah.
really? I thought we confirmed that it's showing on our screens. Yeah, I'm typing. Hold on. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. You can see now.
Yeah.
Right. So this particular screen was for us to look at something else, anyways. So I thought maybe you were seeing my compose. Wow. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm not so used to Google Meet. Anyways. So we are sending the email to Letitia, right? So we have Letitia email here. Subject timeline, meeting request 2026. Meeting request 2024 May 2026. Can you say it now? That is it displaying?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for the feedback. Dear Letitia. Okay, there's a tab button. We are super excited to host XXX program on the 24th May 2026. To host access program on the 24th of May. The team is confident. And we want to seek final approval for the event to kickstart. Right. So we could see that some mistakes, right, which we can check, right, and kickstart. Okay, which is fine. We can bring this here. Oh, that's now. This can be the body of the email, right? You can just use this as the body of the email. This is just a meeting request. So we are started to host access program on the 24th of May 2026. The team is confident and we want to seek final approval for the event to kick start. Best regards 20. Best regards, Joshua. Right. So we have the who we are sending the email to, our tagline, that is the subjects, the salutation, the body, and then the sign off. Then we can just click on send. Right. Okay, let me switch back to Let me switch back to my slides. Okay. Can you confirm that you see my slides now?
Yes, please, we can see.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So as we mentioned earlier, so we have this professional email best practices, right? And we've also looked into on how we can actually draft this. I hope we are clear on that. Okay, so next slide. Let's move to the next slide. So let's look at safe online communication, right? Protecting yourself and then your information in digital spaces. Now, it's very essential that we use strong passwords, right? We have to create password with like 12 characters, missing letters, numbers, and then symbols. Yeah, which is very key. You don't have to use all letters. You don't have to use just numbers, your phone numbers, like we mostly do. A lot of people use just their telephone number and then their date of birth and stuff like that. But it's really not good. So we have to use strong passwords. You have to use all the characters. I mean, you have to miss the characters, numbers, then letters. And there has been cases too that you can use a password manager. So this password manager, we have Google password manager, and there are others too as well. Now we can also enable two-factor authentication, which we normally say MFA, which is it's actually add extra layer of security to your account, especially in emails and then banking. And I want to believe that some of us here know about MFA. So MFA, if we realize whenever we are signing into our devices, we get a second authentication factor, right? That you are able to receive either a code, you receive a code, or you receive a call. Either ways, it happens to be an extra layer of security to your account. In cases that you are signing into your Gmail or your Outlook, if you don't set a MFA, you wouldn't be able to have that kind of second layer of security. Let's look at think before you click. Think before you click, right? Think before you click. You see, there are times that we receive a lot of links via WhatsApp. You see, but we are always in a rush to just click on the link and see what either your peers send you or something like that. But you have to verify every link that you click. You see, now you're able to see previews of URLs, right? And even in emails, we mostly receive this kind of suspicious links in our emails. All right. We will look into all this. We will have the practical side of it as well. You see, there has been times that you would actually receive a suspicious email, but because we are just in a rush, we don't really read it. We don't really read the emails. they'll happen to send you an email which will entice you, right? To entice you, so you're in a rush to just click on the link without being so careful. You see. So we also have to actually, you have to think before you click. Let's talk about secure your network. Avoid public Wi-Fi for sensitive tasks. Use a VPN when working remotely. A VPN is just a virtual private network. For remote workers, always we VPN into our devices, right? We always VPN into our devices because we have a safe environment that we work in for those who work remotely. For those that work in the office, you will always have your particular network that you connect to before you can access data on your laptop, whether it's a laptop or it's a desktop or even mobile devices. But we have to avoid public Wi-Fi for sensitive tasks. Sensitive tasks. We can talk about guard personal information, right? Never share sensitive data, your ID, password, account numbers via email or chats. So you can receive an email that you'll be asked to share your password or even share your ID or even account numbers. Never share this kind of data with anyone, wherever the email is coming from. There can be a case that you receive a mail and then the email is more of a disguised email. So it's coming from a trusted source. For instance, it could come from google.com, it could come from Microsoft, it can come from most of the platforms that we visit regularly. But it's not coming from the right source. We also look into this as well. So don't share your ID, your password, and your account numbers. There can be cases that if you are working and then your company asks you to share your data, that one is different. But in an instance that you receive an email from a different platform, okay, asking you for this kind of data, never share it. Then we can look into the keep software updated. So in this case, we have to always patch our devices. When I say patch, it means that update. Okay, in a corporate environment, we patch our devices on Fridays. I mean, there are timelines that we use to actually patch our devices, right? But for individuals, the phone that we are using, we have to regularly update them. Have to update our softwares on your phone, and then softwares on your any devices that you're actually using. You have to update them. There's an instance too that you can enable auto update on all devices. So this is a particular feature that is on most of our devices that we use in our daily lives. Right. So let's look at the practical aspect of it. Okay. Right. Can you see my? I'm on the Google Workspace. Can you please confirm if you can see it? Alright. Yeah, Angela. Right. Now we can talk about Angela. Now we can talk about Angela. So let's look at Angela. So this is an email that I received some time ago. Okay, this is October 16, 2024. And I just want us to just look at it. Okay, so you could see that the email is coming from here, right? Natalie Jessim, or whatever name it is, 95@gmail.com. Mostly these kind of emails are really suspicious. And there was the body of the email. Joshua, hello, do you remember me? Let's chat here. So you could see the email, right? You realize that if you are cautious, the email hasn't even, the link the person sent here doesn't have, is HTTP. There's no S. So this particular omission tells me that it's not safe. And even if I hover on it, there's no hover. You realize that this is generic. You see, getlava.fan / question mark gallery, blah 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 blah. These are more of romance scam. Right. This is more of romance scam. Then I didn't actually respond, right? So I had to go back and then go and track this. You see, so I copy this email, right? I copy, okay, in this case, let's just copy, right? Okay, let me copy it. Okay, let me go to Grabify. So this is an IP logger. I don't know whether this email link has been so long, so I don't know whether we can have a tracking on this. So let's just search for this and see what to give us. You see, so this is the original URL. You see, that's the original URL, and the new URL is this one. This is https URL.me. So this is a romance scam. There's a tracking code. So there's a tracking code in it. So once you click on it, they will start tracking you. They'll start tracking every moment that you are doing on your phone. And this is the access link. They use this is it, grabify.org.track/this.
We cannot see you. We cannot see Josh.
All right, sorry about that. Oh well, then let me share my entire screen. That one will be fine. Let me just share my entire screen. So it will help me. Okay, I'm just sharing my entire screen. Okay, I guess you can see now. Okay, awesome. Okay, so then I have to start the whole process again. Okay, let me go back. So this is a particular platform that is grabify.org, which we use for tracking, right, and stuff like that. Especially if you receive suspicious emails. So this was the email that I received some time back, right? Then I copied this. You copy it. Copy, come back to Grabify, right? It's still loading, right? Okay, hold on. It's already here, so I'll just have to search for it. Okay, so this is the information that I had on the link, right? That I just copied. So this is the original URL. It's here, HTTP, blah, 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 blah. This is the new URL. Right, so this is the original URL, right? And there was a tracking code embedded in the link that I received via Gmail, right? And this is the tracking code. So once you go and click on it, now they have access to every information on your device. Whatever thing you're doing, they'll start tracking everything that you're doing, right? And this is the access link, which is https://grabify.com/track, and then stuff like that. You see. Now, if you have, I'm not logged in because I don't want to do crazy stuff. If you have the enterprise version, you'll be able to, it's a very good tool, right? A very, very good tool. You can be using them as well. You can take capture a lot of information based on the kind of links that you receive if you feel that it's actually suspicious, right? So in this case, this is a romance scam, like I mentioned, mostly romance scam. So they'll disguise themselves, and then they will use mostly they use female images, right? They mostly use female images. So if you come to your emails, mostly you have to look at your spam. You see, so spam mostly are most of the emails that you receive which are very suspicious. Okay, all these emails are suspicious emails, right? And then some of them are not really suspicious. So mostly you have to check your spam. You might receive an email from someone, but then it's not spam and stuff like that. Okay, then we made mention of use strong password, right? So let's look at, there's sometimes that you can use a particular platform. Let's say password generator. Okay, so this is Bitwading. So you can use Bitwading to generate passwords. This is quite free, right? So you realize that it has generated a password for me. So you can just do passphrase to generate all these things for you. There's password. You can go to 12 characters, 42, 10, 12, A to Z, to just generate the password for you. You see, to auto generate it for you. So either you can copy it, and then you hide it somewhere. Okay. Then we spoke about think before you click. So think before you click, that's what we looked into. And we also looked into enable two-factor authentication, right? Secure network, avoid blah blah blah. Okay, I think the VPNs. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. So let's look at spotting threats and scams. So phishing, phishing is the number one cyber threat. You see, it is when criminals impersonate trusted people or organizations to steal your data. So let's look at the red flags to watch for. General greetings, right? It is very generic. So you could see that you just send an email, dear customer, instead of your name. So if you're receiving an email from a company, in this case, let's say you are receiving an email from your bank. You see, for banks, you have to make sure that your name is there. Dear customer doesn't really make sense. So this is actually a red flag, dear customer, instead of your let me use the laser pointer, instead of your name. Okay, And let's look at suspicious sender. Suspicious senders. Yeah, this email looks like it's real. You see, it is supposed to be from PayPal. But if you're not careful, you realize that it's email at paper1/security.net. But this is not from PayPal. So you have to be very cautious of the email that there's where the person is sending from. You have to be very careful. And then we spoke about requests for credentials. You see, so there is no real company that will ask for your password by sending an email. You see, there was a particular case, right, that we actually handled. We handled a case that it was related to TikTok. Okay, so they generated a particular email to someone. Okay, and they asked him that, oh, he has achieved a particular, I think it's subscribers, so they will have to give that account blue tick. So once the person saw it, the person was like, he was overjoyed, right? And the person didn't even read into details of the email, but it was a phishing email, right? It was a phishing email, and then he clicked on the link. By the time he realized all his data is gone. So they called me, and I have to go and then go and check everything. So I noticed that the approach that they used was very smart. It came from TikTok themselves, but you notice that the header of the email is different, different from what TikTok will actually send you. And you realize that all these key things are there. There's like pressure, act now, or your accounts will be closed. You see. So the acting that you should actually act now. Just act now, you see, so that you would get your blue tick. But then the person realized, no, echo. You see. So we have to come in and then come and solve the issue. So the person who has had the account was asking for a large sum of amount of money. Anyway, and by the time we got the account back, and it took me like 2 hours for me to be able to get the account back. You see, he was still asking for money. I was like, you shouldn't worry, you'll send him. He sent us Bitcoin numbers and stuff like that. So unexpected attachments, zip, .exe or invoice files. You see, all these file types, they are able to embed some code in it that once you download the attachments, they have access to your data. They will have access to your data. So you realize that most of the email that they send, if you are careful enough and then you read it, you realize that there's a lot of mistakes in terms of grammar, a lot of mistakes. But if you're not careful, you don't pay attention to it. And by the time you realize, you have been scammed. So let's look at how we'll be able to spot all these threats and then scams. You see, let's be careful of attachment that we click via emails. Let's be careful of the kind of links that we actually just click, especially on WhatsApp. You realize that people are forwarding a whole lot of things on WhatsApp. Let's be careful of the kind of links that we see floating in our emails. You see, the kind of links that we click that are floating in our pages on WhatsApp. Mostly they target groups and stuff like that. We all know about most of the things that they normally do. There were some new other things like is it the paper or whatever it is. So they'll ask you just to join. Once you join, you send an X amount of money. Then you click on a link, then they'll take your data, and within some few days, like they'll tell you within 1 week, you receive ×2 of the money, and then stuff like that. These are not safe. Okay, next. So we will talk about practical tools and then resources. Okay, like I mentioned, earlier I even mentioned about you have to build habit that protects your everyday life. So password management, and even with password manager, there has been cases that I have people that their password manager account was hacked. You see, so once they have access to your password manager, you are doomed for life because they have access to all your passwords, and then they'll have access to all your devices. You see, but for Google Password Manager, it is built into our Chrome and then our Android devices, but you can still be hacked. So let's be careful if we are using Google Password Manager. I always say that just go by your own passwords. Stick to your own passwords, and you can change them as time goes by. Every 2 months, change your passwords, or even every month you can change your password because you don't know what might happen. And then mostly we all know that sometimes we use one password for all our online services. The same password that we used to log into our Gmail, that is the same password that we used to log into other accounts. You see, so once you are exposed, you are doomed. And I even made mention of Bitwarden, which is a free open source password manager. So with this free open source, you can get a password, but at least you have to change 1 or 2 letters in it, then you can use them. For that, you cannot memorize them, honestly. You can't memorize them. You can't memorize them. So let's talk about email security. So we have something that we call strong spam filtering. So that's what I've done in my Gmail. See, I've done some settings that helps me with spam filtering. You see, and then we also spoke about 2FA. It is the second MFA that we use, multi-factor authentication. Always enable this on all your devices. Even if they get to your accounts, they will not have access to your MFA. Unless, of course, your MFA is on your device, which is your phone device, because they're going to send you a particular code on your phone that you use to prove that you are accessing the platform. Right. So we can look at Proton Mail. So Proton Mail is one of the secured end-to-end encrypted email that you ever actually come across. Right. So email security is very important. We don't have to take it for granted. So we can talk about we have to stay informed, right? So we will look into this one as well. Have I been pwned? Then we have staysafeonline.org. Okay. Right. So let's look into them, how we can actually use it. Okay, have I been spam? Okay, so who would give it a try? You can give me your email. You can drop your email in the chat, or you can unmute and then maybe let me try mine first. Okay, Minnah Joshua at gmail.com. So let me just check. So the next person, please get ready. You can drop it in a chat or you can unmute and then we can check for you. So you see 0 data breaches. So 0 data breaches. Good news, no pound found. This email address wasn't found in none of our data breaches. Loaded into whatever is found. That's good news. Anyways, so we can do one for another person. One of the attendees. You can drop it in a, you can drop your email in the chat. Or you can even mention.
Yeah, please, my email is in the chat.
It's in the chat.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, let me check the chat. Say do have right now. Copy. Let's check for you. Okay. Good news. 0 data breaches. Say you are safe, eh? Say you are safe. Good. Then we can look at that. Yeah, safe. Because so we can also look at staysafeonline.org. Stay safe online.org. No, stay safe online, not this. Not resources. Stay safe. No, that's not the resources. Right, showing me the resources side. I'm not looking for this. Actually, not looking for this. So this is the national security. Anyways, we can. I think what I'm looking for. Stay safe. This is what I'm looking for. It's supposed to be this. Reload. Oh, Ghana internet. Anyways, my internet is failing to load. Have I been breached? Letitia, can you hear me? Is my internet finished? Can you hear me? Ah, okay. It looks like I've been breached because my internet is not giving me access anyways. Okay, Yakubu 2 is here. We can check it one for you. Okay, let's check for Luman. No, not this. Go back. Go back. Never been spam. Okay. No, Sam at Gmail. Oh, Lumazam, one data breach. Can you
What does it mean?
Can you unmute?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Yeah, so it means that your email has been breached. So you have one data that has been
Tell me what it means.
it means that your data has been exposed. So you've clicked on a link which Okay. Don't worry. After the event, just because it's going to be a long process for me to help you. Okay.
Okay, all right.
So don't worry. After the event, just get in touch. I'll help you.
Okay, okay. I'll get in touch so
All
that
right.
so that they will stop laughing at me.
All right. Okay, my brother. Okay, my brother. So let's look at the next person. Let's look at so you can look at Yakubu. Okay. All right. Yakubu, we are safe. Yakubu, we are safe. All right. Yakubu, we are safe.
Let
I
me
think
put in my other email and check that one too.
Okay. All right. Send it into the chat.
It's there now.
Is here. Okay. Lumo Samuel 88. I'll tell you guys about another case. It is visa fraud case. I'll make it very snappy. Because Letitia, please what's my time duration now? When am I supposed to end? The time, please. Oh, okay. Okay. Ron, do you have any question? Please, you can unmute
Yeah,
and
I have a question.
okay, please
I have a
unmute.
question. So, if you have a data breach, right? What you said, it means that your password or your data has been compromised, right?
Right.
Yes. But after you ensure the necessary security channels are in place, like the 2FA and all of the others, and you still check the websites, it doesn't change. So how do you then check again that you're on the safe side? Or you just go with the confidence that you have changed it or upgraded your skills?
Yeah. So in this case, if you realize that your data has been breached, the first step for you to do is just change your password. Okay. That's the first step. Just try and then change your password. Once you've changed your password, you have to also, if you realize that you don't have MFA, to do that one as well. Okay, so these are the first two process that you have to actually do. There are times that your data has been breached, but they might not even have access to that data because it's been encrypted, and it will take time before they can crack the hash on it. Then they can have access to all your data. So that by the time that you realize that your data has been breached, you have to act very swift and then very fast. So those are the two processes that you can use. Does it answer your question?
No, I'm saying that
Right. The blacklist, the blacklist, the blacklist. Right. Okay, right. Thank you, Letitia. So my time is almost up, so let's just finish this then. So, let's talk about this last habit. So we have to log out of accounts on shared devices. You see, there are times that we use different devices that right that we have the same stuff on it. You see, so once you use a particular shared device, just log out. And then there are times that you have to also review account activity like weekly. Can be daily, can be weekly, can be monthly, however it goes. Okay, so I think we are almost done. So the key takeaways, right? So let's look at these basic principles that we can actually use. Um, Digital confidence is a skill. It's not a talent. It can be learned and then built over time. Okay, so it's a skill that you have to learn online. You see, and this is what we are even doing now. And then let's look into the second one. Professional email communication open doors and builds your credibility online. Okay. Okay, let me write this one. Your personal data is valuable, so you have to protect it with strong password and then 2FA. Okay. Slow down when something feels urgent online. Scammers thrive on panic on something when it's very panic. Stay informed and share what you learn with your community. Thank you. If you have any questions, we can look into it. Other than that, it's a wrap for me. So if you have questions now, you can actually unmute. Yeah, once a month. Every month we have our monthly event. So we are Microsoft User Group Ghana, and I happen to be the lead organizer. So every month we organize trainings. Okay, so you can connect with me as we advance together. The teacher, can you? Okay, let me leave the screen and read.
All right, Josh.
Yes, yes, sir.
So I want to get a confirmation whether you are on our platform, so that in case somebody want to reach out to you.
Okay.
Are you on any of our platforms?
Um,
Oh. So how do we reach out? Okay, very well. Very well.
Yeah. So what happened was that Letitia, I was part of the groups, but I changed my devices, right? And when I was transferring my data, I think there was an interaction with my internet, and it messed up with my messages and WhatsApp. So I left every group that I was in it. So that what happened. Yeah, Ejira.
Okay, so thank you so much, Josh, for the chance to come and share with our community on internet safety, how to send an email, and all that stuff. These are very, very valuable skills that anybody must have, especially when you are entering into the global workforce. You have to have these skills. And so for Josh to take his time and to come here and share these with us, thank you. And these videos are going to be on our Facebook pages. For some reason, I made a mistake. I was streaming at the wrong platform, but we are going to fix it for next week. It wasn't intentional where it was streaming today. It's not intentional, but we're going to fix it. We are going to fix that part. Yeah, but let me share my screen and go over what we have been working on as we try to end our today's session. So let me hold up here. Okay, so let me see. Last week that my computer froze, right? Well, this week it won't be that way. Anyway, so with that being said, one of the stuff that I've been saying is many of our youth. I think I went to MTN and I was opening an account at MTN and I saw that they had the Yam phone, that they were using to register people and stuff like that. It was the small phone, a pen, and a paper. Those three things were what they were using to sign up for new users. And one thing is too clear, I didn't really know it was that crazy, Mr. Sam, because I think I was Mr. Sam, because they are, I don't know how to explain, but what it was really a surprise to me that you were registering a new client, with that small phone, that Ghana call it the Yam phone, with a paper and a pen. Until we went to Kwame Danso, when we learned that many of them don't know how to use the keyboard, and it wasn't that they don't know how to use the keyboard because they don't know, they have not been taught. And Ghana and most of us in Africa, we are very unique in our way of doing stuff. Many of us know about computers through our cell phones. They the average Ghanaian is always on the cell phone. They know how to use a computer through the cell phone use, but not on a big computer with the keyboard and all that stuff. So schools and stuff like that, some people are finishing school without these skills. And so learning from why NTN is hiring these new graduates and then just giving them the Yam phone, the pen and the paper. Now I understood why this is happening in MTN as a global company like that. And so this training that we are offering is to really help address these issues, because if we want to work, let's say, looking for a remote job, and somebody wants to hire you, how are you going to really communicate with your peers? If you are trying to inquire about opportunity, how are you going to submit that email? And so many times I'll be on what's it called now? Yeah, WhatsApp. I'll be on what's it called, Instagram or Facebook. And grown-ups, not even the youth, many of the times the grown-ups, they will say hello, and they will just go. And they are waiting for you to come and say hello back before they will tell you why they are chatting with you. But over here in the US, hi, my name is this. This is why I'm reaching out to you. So when the person comes and read that, they know what is happening. So these are very valuable skills. How you engage yourself. So what online confidence, how like building that confidence online is very, very key. Because you cannot just be you hear BB. You need something very urgent. But then no, you want to text somebody or DM them, you just say hello, hi, and you left because you want them to say hello back before you tell them what you need. So if the person is busy, that hello, hi, they will just drop the ball and go. You have lost the chance of telling them why you are reaching out. So thank you so much, Josh, for coming to show us how to even set up, like, create the subjects, send the email, and also checking whether it's a spam and all that stuff. And so, as I shared in the beginning of our training, that this is a momentum building as we prepare for our Global Young Innovators Team Fest happening in Kibi or Chebi, Kibi Presby College of Education in the Eastern region. And if somebody asks me why we're not doing it in Accra, those who know EBI, we like to work within the interland. We like to go to the remote areas. Accra is amazing. We love Accra, but we also want to reach out to many of the youth who feel a little bit neglected, right? And so that is why we are always it's a lot of work not doing things in Accra, but it's a labor of love to reach all the youth that we can possibly reach. And so we are hosting this event in Kibi or Chebi in the Eastern region. It's happening July 11th. Okay. It's happening July 11th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And there will be over 20 STEAM stations. There will be live hackathon, health screening, and many prizes to win. And so I will end here to say that we want to thank Adam I Technology. We want to thank Glow Luxury Travel. We want to thank Omega Dolls and Locks. Let me check something real quick. Okay, it's showing perfect. We want to thank Omega Dolls and Locks. We want to thank Abanot Business Solution, Glow Kiss Events, Mama Carol Foundation, um, the Steam Setup and Labs, Abna Nuyama Real Estate. We want to thank Sankofa Children Museum and Step of Faith LLC, Afro Males Foundation, and DAF, which is the African Diaspora Forum Youth Empowerment Training Center, Glow Fam Association, STEM Embassy, and this event is brought to you by Expanding Boundaries International. And to end here, the Global Young Innovators Team Fest, as I said, will be Grand Challenge pitch. We already have our top competitors who are going to be competing for the final prize, and include laptop, include some STEM activity, STEM kit and all that stuff, and also cash prizes. There will be hackathon, a live coding race. There will also be learning labs, and then we are having some food vendors that will be there to sell food and allow you to try different food and stuff. And wellness pavilion and family fun section. There will be trampoline, music, art, and food, um, health screening, and all that stuff. I will be coming to Ghana with my American high school and college students who are also going to be in attendance, and they'll also be men of the tables and stuff like that. We are going to have discussions or workshops and also panel discussions and all those things. So this is going to be a very fun, innovative event for our youth in Chebi and also in Ghana as a whole, because many of our STEM or STEAM hubs, we have 8 hubs in Ghana, and so many of them are going to travel from their individual hubs to come and participate in the STEAM Fest. And so it's going to be exciting. And what we just finished today was the global STEAM plug. Okay, this is streamed this weekly. It's a new global schedule. So every Friday, 7 p.m. Ghana time, 3 p.m. Eastern USA, 8 p.m. UK, 10 p.m. in East Africa, 11 p.m. in United Arab Emirates. And if you want to really ask questions, like today, Josh was asking people for their email to test out whether their account has been breached or hacked and stuff like that. And guess what? This is how you join. So if you want to join to be able to ask questions and also engage with the instructor, definitely let us know. And then you can get on our Google Meet link and stuff like that. Follow us on our social media account. But then it's also going to be live broadcasted every Friday on our Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And so this is the end of our today's broadcast. And we want to say thank you so much. And if you want to be a guest, please message us, DM us, and then let's keep going. You can scan this link right here. Or you can scan this right here to be able to reach out and ask more questions about how you can be part of it. Our numbers are also on the website. Okay. So thank you so much. This is the Global Young Innovators Team Fest, and also the Global Steam Plug, which is brought to you by Expanding Boundaries International. And so thank you guys very much. Thank you, Josh, for allowing us to have a little bit of your knowledge and your expertise. And so we are ending today. Thank you so much.